there, and welcome back to some more WRC or World Rally Championship. Today we're continuing our Let's Play, and this is episode 30. In today's episode, we are taking a look at the bonus stages. Just figured I'd show these off, considering we did unlock them through our professional career mode. There are 6 in total, and we have unlocked 5 out of 6. Col Roig, I believe that's called. I'm only guessing that that would come from the British Rally. The British Rally is, or the British and Argentinian rallies are the only ones that I didn't win on professional difficulties on either this or the playthroughs channel. However, Argentina I did actually do some research in, and that was a cheat code unlocked at the end of that one. Cheat code showed off in the next episode, so I would imagine that comes from the British Rally. I wasn't too far off the last time round, but it was very late and I just couldn't be bothered anymore. So anyways, not to worry, because we can get it anyways as we type in the code gimme bonus. Alternatively, you can enter Open Sesame here and you'd get that. So if you type in gimme bonus, that's all bonus stages unlocked. As you can see now, we've got access to Col Roig. And if you open Sesame, that will give you access to all of the bonus content, which essentially just boils down to the stages you unlock through the career mode. So it doesn't really make a difference which one of those you use, but in case you're wondering how you enter cheats in, that's the secrets thing, although I'll show more of that off in the next episode. This episode though, we're going to show off these things. So our first one is Col Roig, which we'll start off with, which is at the Rally Catalunya. It's 7.1 kilometers. And as for cars, I have shown off on the other channel. Of course, we've seen the Impreza on this channel, either on the Playthroughs channel. Accent was on this channel, the Skoda was on the Playthroughs channel, the Citroen's been on thumbnail, so it's basically a choice between the Peugeot and the Ford, and in all honesty, I find the Ford much more interesting. So we'll go with the Focus for all of these. Okay, so here we are at Col Roig. We'll have to see what these stages are like, if they're any different to the ones that we've experienced in game. My theory on these, having not really looked into them all that much, other than just sort of seeing passing gameplay of these, I think these may either be related to extra stages that were initially going to be in the game, but were later cut, because not every rally has a 6th stage, so they decided there's no point of having 6 stages in some rallies. It's from an earlier point in development where they wanted to have 6 stages per rally, or they're just random things that the developers came up with, and maybe some of them will be interesting and awesome, but yeah, we'll have to see. So far I'm getting more Italy vibes from this one than Spain vibes, it does have to be said. Like I said, of course, driving the Focus on these, the smallest car in the game, probably this one, the 206. Would be tied for smallest cars. I was actually going to drive this for the professional playthrough, but at the last moment I decided on the Skoda. Kind of glad I decided on the Skoda as well, because the Skoda sounds pretty darn cool, but I figured I'd have to show off the Focus at some point, and of course we have to drive as Ford driver, because he's the mysterious main driver of Ford, despite being called Ford driver. I get why they did that in this game, but they really should have come up with a better cover than Ford driver. Personally, I would have called him Curtis McRae. There you go. As in with a Y. Or Colleen. Colin McRae. There you go. That's what I would have gone for. Although they do have Nicky Grist, which is funny because Nicky Grist is actually in CMR3, so yeah, it's a little bit of an odd one, the whole Ford driver thing. So here's some interior view for you. It's very blue inside here. I do like the Focus's heads-up display. It's very sort of no-nonsense white. By far and away the easiest digital tack in this game to actually read at a passing glance. Because, I mean, the Subaru's is pretty bright, it's yellow, but yeah, I think, mind you, I guess in maybe the snow stages it'd actually be a bit more of an arse to read, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. The Hyundais I had trouble with occasionally, but in fairness, in this game I am using automatic transmission, so it doesn't actually make all that much of a difference. In case you're wondering why I'm doing that, it's just because you know, these games are a bit more arcadey, so I figured I'd get away with it. In the more realistic games that are coming up in the WRC series, I'll probably make a switch to manual gears, because manual gears are fairly important when it comes to rallying, but yeah, there's some rocks over there, which is interesting, although I think we've seen those on a couple of the other stages dotted around. Yeah, this one isn't too bad. It's sort of a mountain pass in Spain sort of thing. Doesn't feel an awful lot like the other Spanish stages, I'll be honest, so maybe that's a reason why it is a bonus stage, so... Yeah, there you go, that was Coil Rog. Oh, the loading screen's actually pretty quick on this one. So of course we've got first all of these sort of base times, much like in line with the regular content in this game, seem to be pretty darn easy. And it just boots you out here once you're done. So next one is going to be Las Bajarads, which is the Rally Argentina, and looks pretty featureless, I've got to be honest. Let's go. Well, we've got some rain here at least, which I can't remember if that was a thing in Argentina, I think it was. But at least we've actually got a pretty good car for Argentina as well, a nice sort of small yuppie car that'll be able to bounce its way through everything. So, out of all the stages, this is the one that I have very, very briefly played. I actually, dirty little secret, I recorded the cheats video before recording this one, just sort of showing off the main effects codes. I haven't shown off any of the Open Sesame stuff, hence why we still had that to go. I'm probably only going to mention that very briefly, but yeah, I was going to try this one out for one of the codes that increases max acceleration, but yeah, I couldn't really find a space, although this would probably do quite well for it, although it might be a bit too bumpy. I don't know, I like the stage that I picked in that, so... But yeah, anyways, this seems to be a pretty sort of speedy Argentina stage, which is once again much like with a Spanish stage that didn't feel very much at all like the usual Spanish rally stages. This feels a lot more sort of open. The Argentinian rally is sort of more tactical, a lot slower, a lot sort of ever-changing on the way you have to take corners, so the fact that this one is as sort of straight line focused as it is very much at odds with that, so yeah, bit of an interesting one, has to be said. I quite like it though, I like the fast and flowing. I could have done with this in Argentina, to be honest with you, because this would probably been quite a nice stage to gain a little bit of time back. As I mentioned, Argentina, one of the only rally stages I didn't win overall. In fairness, I probably could have quite easily in the Hyundai, not so much in the Skoda. But yeah, we're well above the base time as usual, so that's Las Bajas, I guess. That one does feel a little bit more like it was sort of a bonusy one added by the developers. I don't think that would have really fit in too well with the overall theme of the Argentine rally in this game. But then again, the Monte Carlo stage that they had didn't feel all that similar either. Next one, I'm not even going to attempt, well, I am going to attempt to pronounce that. Lagidia Calavacios. I don't know, it's 3.4 kilometers. One interesting thing you might notice, the start time on all of these is midnight. It doesn't change for whatever reason. Also, we'll place Carlos Sainz, because why not? Alrighty. This one looks very wastelandy, so it definitely must be Cyprus. Let's see how this one is. Apparently Carlos Sainz has number 3. I'm not really paying too much attention to the number plates, but the actual sort of number plates on the side of the car, I guess I am. So this one from the picture looked very sort of flowing, quick, but very sort of left, right, left, right. Looking at that time, and also looking at the fact this is 3.6 kilometers, yeah, this looks sort of very left, right, left, right. It's sort of like what you'd imagine a Cyprus rally stage to look like, I guess. Sort of very turny, very... I should have really used this for one of the cheat codes, come to think of it. But, yeah, no, this... It's an interesting stage, certainly. It does feel very artificial, I've got to be honest. This one does not feel very natural, which a lot of the rally stages in this game, I think, do feel fairly natural. Don't get me wrong, they're a bit wider than maybe they should be, but That's to account for the handling. But the actual overall stage design feels pretty organic. This, however, does feel very sort of forced, I've got to be honest. It is very sort of left, right. It's like no one would ever make a track that quite runs like this one, I guess. I guess it's a decent amount of fun though. It'd probably be good in a better handling car. Focus is a little bit, it's just not really what I want in a handling car. It feels a little bit, it actually feels a bit delayed, which I wasn't really expecting from the Focus. I was expecting it to feel more nimble. I guess in a way it sort of does. It definitely feels like it can probably deal with faster corners better, but yeah. We absolutely smashed the record time, but yeah, a little bit of an artificially feeling stage, gotta be honest, but yeah, it's still pretty cool, I guess. Definitely one that I'd take the Helium co-driver on a ride round if I was going to take anyone. So there we go, that was the name that I can't pronounce. I tried to. You have to give me some credit there. I don't think anyone from Cyprus watches this. I don't even know what language they speak in Cyprus. Anyways, next up, that looks very Finnish. No, it's Acropolis. Okay. The Stromi Inahori, 5.5 kilometers. Once again, apparently starts at midnight. It won't. Okay. Can't remember what rally this was attached to. It was Greece, wasn't it? Yeah. Interesting that. I sort of think all three of those rallies feel kind of similar-esque, you know, the Cyprus, Greek, and Argentinian rallies. I was going to say Acropolis, but that's Greece, I think. So yeah, they all feel kind of identical to one another, but I will say the bonus stages definitely don't. The Argentinian one was very quick. The other one was sort of very left, right. This one's actually pretty long, apparently. It's 3 minutes according to the record time, which probably more means like 2.5 minutes for us. Lots of hills. This does strike me as it's going to be a very sort of hilly stage. Feels pretty nice though, gotta be honest. I could definitely see this on the Greek rally in the actual game. So, yeah, feels pretty alright. Feels... Actually, I could have sworn we've driven through this bit, so this could either be an extension of an existing stage, or... I haven't really entertained the possibility, but some of these could actually just be the normal stages backwards, perhaps even, so... This one actually does feel like an existing stage, I've got to be honest. So... yeah. I'm not really... I'm not very good when it comes to picking up on stuff like that. You know, it took me a while to pick up on Dirt Rally 2.0. They sort of ran stages backwards and forwards. Of course, because it's a rally game, it does feel very different. It changes a lot. And of course, because usually you don't have a map in a rally game, it's usually quite hard to tell if it is just a existing stage backwards. But yeah, I'm getting sort of backward stage vibes from this one, but it does feel very nice, even if it is or is not. It feels pretty good. I could definitely see this being part of the Greek rally package in the game. Decent views as well with the trees and the sun and so on. But yeah, I can't help but feel this is familiar feeling. So yeah, it's good. I like it. Again, as I said, out of all of them, this is probably the most realistic stage I've played so far. Because the Spanish one felt a little bit, you know, a lot of these don't really feel like they sync in with the overall themes of the rallies. That one does, I've got to be honest. I think it was Greek anyway. Unless it's been Cyprus this entire time, because they do look pretty similar. I could have sworn that's Greece though. Could have sworn it's Greece. We'll find out in a second. Let's just double check that. Wait, no, it wasn't that one, was it? It was that one. Yeah, Acropolis. No, it's Greece, isn't it? No. Argentina, Cyprus, Greece. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm stupid at this time. So we've now got the Vastila, which is a Rally Finland, 7.7 kilometers. Because it's Finland, it's probably going to be fast. We'll go with the other focus first. So, pretty obvious this has been around pretty much since the game came out. But yeah, Francis Delacour actually has a individually liveried focus, much like he did in real life. So that's a interesting little thing if you didn't know. Okay, so here we are. As I said, this focus does look a bit different. It looks kind of weird to see a focus not in the full-on martini colours. So yeah, not quite sure I'm a huge fan of this particular livery, but this is what Francis Delacour did run in real life. If I remember rightly, he got signed late or something like that, so they just decided to give him this livery, or something like that sort. I can't quite remember it, but yes, no. It is a real livery, although it was a factory back car and did come out the same M Sport suit that produced, or I think it was M Sport that made these things. Almost certain it was. Okay, that's a electrical box or something there. I don't know. This certainly feels like Finland. I will give it. Oh no, I hit an electrical box and I'm only 0.34 down on the base time. Yeah, base times in this game, when it comes to the stages, are not massively impressive. I won't show off the record because there's nothing to really show off there. But yeah, it is very safe to say the sort of base standard times that I have driven around these courses are not impressive in the slightest. So, but yeah, now this stage feels very finished, feels very fast. Definitely feels like something that would just be on the normal Rally Finland. This doesn't feel familiar to me. I will be honest, this one does feel unique. So, actually, I wonder if this livery on this Focus, I guess it is more akin to, or is it? I think they ran a different livery in 1999, I want to say. Obviously, Gran Turismo 2 had a different Focus livery, but I think, yeah, I think the livery in that game was actually more accurate to the one in 99. I should really just remember whatever the Focus looked like in CMR2. Yeah, no, the CMR2 Focus did look different. Okay, yeah. So this is probably more akin to the livery that they used back in 99, 2000. Before they switched to the, I believe the real car was Martini, Valvoline and Telefonica were the main sponsors, until Telefonica went to Citroen in 2003. So Telefonica, correct me if I'm wrong, I very much could be, was probably a McRae sponsor. If it ended up moving to, because it moves to the Citroen 03 and then never, it wasn't seen after 04 when McRae left. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Telefonica was a McRae sponsor, in the same way that Formula 1 drivers sort of have sponsors that follow them around. I absolutely could very much guess rally drivers would have a similar sort of thing. So this car doesn't have the Telefonica stuff on it though. Actually, yeah, that would make a lot of sense, because in 2003 the Focuses had a... don't get me wrong, the Focus in 2003 was very different, had to do aero package and all the rest of it, but yeah, had a different livery and everything, so wouldn't surprise me. Unfortunately, McRae never ran in Rally after the 2004, so I don't actually... Well, he ran in the Skoda, but that doesn't really count, because the Skoda was just a one-off drive, not really a thing. Anyway, so apparently that's the hardest to beat the record time, but then again, as I said before, I did smash into a pole. I'm not very good at Finland in general, but the fact that I didn't really say much about that stage probably tells you a lot about that stage. There's nothing really to it, it's Finland. That's my overall thoughts on that stage. So, I should also mention quickly, I'm not mentioning when these bonus stages come from, because honestly I haven't got a clue. The only one I had any indication might be different is the Colroig, but yeah. Anyways, our final one is Colli di Oglia, which is in Italy, so it's time for another asphalt rally. Let's go ahead and see what this final stage is like. Okay, we're going to restart this one. You can see the night lights on the Focus. I'm restarting it because I hit a tree that I thought would be one of those trees that you can just sort of drive through. It looks a lot like one, and then it didn't. And then my driving sort of went to pot, so figured I'd restart this. But this one definitely does not feel very Italian. Compared to what we have in this game as the Italian stages. The Italian stages are usually very long, sort of very drawn out. This feels a bit more flat out, a bit quicker. I've got to say the houses don't particularly give me many Italian vibes, but then again San Remo is, or San Remo I should say, is sort of more northern Italy, so I guess, you know, sort of borderline French, Switzerland-esque. I mean, I don't even... It's too late to pretend to know my globe very well. I think Switzerland's pretty close to San Remo. So yeah, it definitely has that sort of vibe to it. There's the tree I hit, in case you're wondering, that one sort of on the right, trying to get away with a cheeky corner got. This feels a bit more Italy. It feels very narrow. I'll give it that. A little bit more, I can't remember if Italy was very narrow. Spain was sort of wide, so I guess Italy was a more narrow rally. Very easy rally to ace this one by the looks of it, because we're 15 seconds ahead already. I think I remember something akin to this section in the Italian rally, although it was much higher up, so... Yeah, this is definitely starting to look a lot more like the Italy I'm used to, where it's sort of very twisty, turny sort of twain. No, there is actually a little bit of difference in the interior. It doesn't look quite as blue inside though, compared to the other focuses. But yeah, we got a nice sort of scenic Italian hill climb. I guess hill climb. It's not much of a hill because we're almost at the top, but I guess, yeah, alright feeling stage. Again, doesn't feel very Italian compared to this game, I'll be honest, but yeah. So there we go, that is all of the bonus stages in WRC. As I said before, I am almost convinced that these were either 6 stages. I don't think they were a board art department. Unlike in WRC 2 Extreme, where some of the bonus stages are really interesting and you can definitely tell why they are bonus stages. Those ones, they don't feel much like a bonus, they just sort of feel more like concept art of what the developers were doing. But yeah. Either way, that's all 6 of them showed off, and that's the Ford Focus showed off. So the only thing left to do in this game is to show off the selection of cheats, which is what we're going to be doing next time out on WRC. So join us for that. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. Until next time, a farewell.
You know the sorrow that my heart holds in, knowing just where my hopes and dreams are going. I'll only you pay. Got up in a wall that you are not part of. Eyes on this letter, your father with love.